All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at Marcus Smart. So obviously rumors came out yesterday about how the Celtics have been willing to offer Marcus Smart contract extension worth $68 million over 4 years. 6-8 divided by 4. We're looking at about 17 million bucks a year for Marcus Smart. Now, we've talked about it on the channel before in other videos and on the podcast. Is Marcus Smart worth the money you're going to have to pay him to keep him here long term? Now, we thought the number was going to be around $20 million. So is 17 a little bit more in the ballpark of what Marcus Smart is worth? And should the Celtics sign him to that deal? Pretty sure the status of it right now is that number's floated out to Marcus Smart's camp, and now it's kind of up to him and his team to decide if he wants to take that deal or not. So we're going to jump into Marcus Smart's highlights from last year, because you guys know the format. We talk about the situation, we watch some highlights, a little refresher, remember what the player does, how he plays, and at the end of the video, I'm going to give you my take on whether or not I think the Celtics should be paying Marcus Smart this money for this long. As always, guys, please hit that subscribe button and like this video and turn on the post notifications, because tomorrow we're dropping the 1,000 subscriber thank you giveaway video. Someone in the comments of that video tomorrow is going to win $100. Make sure to subscribe, like, turn on the notifications, and comment down below what you think of Marcus Smart. Do you think this contract offer is smart for the Celtics? Is it smart for Smart? Smart for Smart. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I mean, we all love Marcus Smart, but I think it's the money that we're going to be talking about here, right? Is he worth it? And I'll give credit to Smart. He became a better scorer last year. He definitely averaged more points per game, but that type of play what we just saw is what we want Marcus Smart to do, right? Like, the scoring is... Did he just go through the legs? Gosh, that's amazing, isn't it? That's amazing. We want Marcus Smart to do this. Like, the scoring is all great. It's fine and dandy. I love that he can score a little bit better now, but it's not really his role. So does Marcus Smart still have that sort of dog in him that makes Celtics fans love him? Now, that three, I'm going to be honest. Hey, I'm going to be honest here. When Marcus Smart gets an open three, I'm not going to lie. I'm okay with it. I know a lot of people don't love the open threes that he takes at all. Like, no threes are good for Marcus. But when Marcus Smart takes an open three, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it because, you know, what are you going to do? It's an open three. That's today's NBA. Everyone should be shooting those. It's those pull-ups, multiple threes in a row that I don't love. But plays like that, like knowing Jaylen Brown was there is just like, what? You got to be a psychopath to just know Jaylen Brown's at the end of the court. Marcus Smart has a sixth sense, and I think the sad part is that this past year, I think some people started to sour on him, which just stinks, yeah. Nice charge take. Man, remember when, what did Kevin Porter Jr., he had like a near 50-point game or something? Or 50, I forget. He went off in one game. I hope people watching this just realize, look at this. He dives, doesn't get it, but you know, other guys would be halfway in the stands, shaking off, complaining to the refs. He runs back and makes a play on the other end. That's the dirt dog we love. But again, I don't think anyone's denying that he can do that. It's a matter of, is that still his identity? Because that's what we want. We want that to be his identity. We don't want him thinking he's a scorer or a big-time clutch shot player. Wow, he wasn't even like... What helped? Like, this should technically be Pritchard, by the way. If you watch this, this should be Pritchard right here. This should be Pritchard stepping into Marcus Smart does. That's just knowing where the ball is going. And that's what Marcus Smart, I feel like, always has. He just knows where the ball is going to be, where the player's going to go before you know you're going there. Ready? Ready? How about this? How about this? 3-on-1. 3 Bulls on 1 Marcus Smart. Who you picking? Who's going to win this? Oh, Marcus Smart? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. We'll take him. A little bit of contact there, but I don't think it's a foul. I think, Garrett Temple grabs Smart. Yeah, Smart did a lot for Robert Williams' game, too. I really think that he started to develop him as well. Like, they were on the same page. Smart on Giannis taking the charge. Look at this. He just knew the spin was coming because he knows Giannis always does it. Boom. That's a legit charge, too. He kind of took a whacking. He makes that look so easy. And then the perfect pass. And Tatum with the flush. All right, guys, so I'm going to go in 2 directions with this sort of breakdown here. Is Marcus Smart's value $17 million? Is his market value $17 million? Yes. In fact, I think if free agency, a couple guys didn't sign, held out, so on and so forth, I think Marcus Smart could be making near $20 million a year in free agency. So the fact the Celtics are offering him 17 isn't them really overpaying. That total number might seem like, oh my God, you're going to pay Marcus Smart $68 million. But in reality, that is kind of his market right now. So I'm not upset about that whatsoever. I think that that's a fine number. I think it's a fair number. The only thing, and like I said, I want to go in two directions here. The first one being that's a fair number. The second direction being, is Marcus Smart worth that to the Celtics? I don't care about his market value or anything like that in this sort of funnel that we're going down. Is Marcus Smart a $17 million a year for the Celtics type of player? But I will say, and I feel like everyone's just leaving this out of their mind, is if you lock Marcus Smart down for another 4 years, you do now have another tradable asset. Like, you have Marcus Smart under contract. You don't have to worry about any sort of leverage of other teams being like, oh no, he's gonna not re-sign in another year or anything like that. You have a 4-year Marcus Smart now. Maybe teams want him in a trade. So there is sort of a, even if you hate Marcus Smart and don't believe he's worth this money, there is sort of a light at the end of the tunnel for you too, because now he's a tradable player on your team. But my take, honestly, my take is that this number works for Marcus Smart. I think that that number is probably going to have to move, or he's going to move if they really do want to make a splash in next year's free agency. But that's about a year's away, so I'm okay with this deal. And like I said, at the very least, you're looking at a guy you probably could potentially now trade because you have him under contract. But either way, for me, if it goes 4 years, $68 million for Marcus Smart, I think we'll be just fine. I think that's a fine, fair number. It's not like they overpaid for him just due to this free agency. I think in reality, that is his market value on the open market right now. Think about it. I mean, when he signed his other deal, what was it, 4 years ago? That was an $11 million per year deal that got a little bit higher as it went. Only going now $6 million higher. Like, Marcus Smart has grown a lot as a player, and to only be paying him $6 more than he was making, it isn't going to impact the Celtics cap that much right now. But again, that's where the long term comes in. Do you really think, 4 years from now you're paying Marcus Smart $17 million? Is that hindering you in any way? And if it is, you can trade him then. So I'm on board for this, because even if you love Marcus Smart, that number works, right? But even if you hate him, now you got a guy that you can probably trade and has a manageable contract to trade. That'll be easy to work out in a trade. So boom, there's my take. I'm kind of okay with it either way. Like, I love Marcus Smart. I get that he's so damn frustrating. I get that he could be on the hot seat in terms of trades, but I think that signing him to a 4-year deal kind of benefits everyone. The people that want to trade him and the people that want to keep him. So sign me up for this. I honestly don't think that that's an overpay just based on the market right now. And you got to think about it too. Even though $17 million a year or $16 million, $17 million a year, like in 4 years, Marcus Smart technically could be on the open market getting like $25 million a year type of thing with how the NBA goes. So I think pretty soon this contract's going to get better and better if they do decide to keep him throughout the contract. That's all I got for you guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Marcus Smart. Do you think that I'm crazy thinking that this is a reasonable number for Marcus Smart? I personally do like Marcus Smart. I'm not tied to him at the hip. If he needs to be traded, whatever, I trust Brad, but I'm not going out and shopping him actively right now. So let me know in the comments down below what you think, and as always, like this video. Catch you guys in the next one.